Hey, what are we doing for tomorrow?
Good flu bug. Sounds good, right?
Well, we need to talk about where we're going to play this Cabela's story. Dan and Liz, we're looking for a story to do together and hit on Cabela's. So they went out there, and it's this media day that they're taking people through to show them what it looks like inside. And Dan's already, pre-written part of the story, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's completely targeted to people like him, real outdoor people, hunting, fishing, camping kind of people. And so we need to decide. Yeah, we need to decide where we're going to run it. And then Janelle is taking another stab at the superbug stuff. We've got this woman who, cures things with, I think she said it's chaparral. Is that a grass? She's trying to cure MRSA with this. I thought it was an Avon aftershave, but and
well, that's high chaparral.
Yeah. But then she's also got the school saying for the first time they're really going to be going at this with any contact sport. They're really emphasizing cleanliness. So before.
Start by making the kids take a shower. That's how they'll ever do. Really disgusting.
And then Janelle's got another story about the Deer Park Hospital. There have been community meetings Monday and Tuesday night about people who really want, this hospital to stay open. So, let's see here. We've got one that's not even on the budget that I'll talk about after we turn off the cameras, and that's about it for us right now. But it's a good start.
Scott?
Well, I do think that Cabela's. I guess I don't know if it's up for debate.
Sure.
Question on where to run it, but I do think it's worthy of page one. A lot of our readers are pretty excited about this store, and it's just so different from what else.
Do they sell shoes?
They do sell footwear, yes. So you can find something there.
But it's no Kohl's.
It may be camouflage.
Oh yeah, I've got a lot of that in my closet.
Well, nobody can accuse us of pumping up for an advertiser because I don't advertise.
Yeah, I think it's an A1 story for sure. It's it's a destination place. Even if you aren't into outdoors, activities, it's a huge thing. People go, don't they, just to look at the displays and stuff. Yeah.
I think it's a media event for a store opening that if it was anybody else we wouldn't even go to. I think it goes inside a beat.
Wow. People do plan their vacations around these Cabela's stores. I mean, they'll take an entire week off and go camp in the parking lot.
Well,
they do that at Walmart too.
Which we've written about.
I think it's important that aside from the wow stuff that Dan might be writing about, we have to revisit the economic impact issue.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing was a big deal at the time because it is a tourist destination, and they estimated a certain amount of economic impact on the region, and I think we've got to include some of those business elements.
Yeah.
Well, Larry's point's worth considering too. How many A1 stories have we had about this place so far? I mean, I seem to remember at least 2 or 3 so far.
Oh, probably. Yeah, they're coming. They might be coming.
They're actually coming. They're really coming now.
They broke ground.
Yeah, we went to Salt Lake to see what they were. We didn't.
No, but those A1 stories weren't all just about the store. I mean, it's about the whole development on that side of Post Falls and what they're going to do with the new freeway interchange and the state funding, state support for that. So I mean, there's a lot of public aspects of this. It's not just about a business.
Oh yeah, I'm not disputing that, but we've given it a huge amount of coverage.
Well, I think if it's going to have...
Is there a huge amount of interest, though?
Sure.
That's the question.
If there's any claim to A1, it's going to have to be more than wow. So maybe he can write it to A1 with some of these other elements.
Well, Allison has got a companion piece that we were going to refer back to in business.
Okay.
So Becky and Melody are putting together the kind of look at the sporting goods market, and they found actually one retailer, White's Boots, up there across from Northtown, that is redoing his store essentially because he's kind of checking out of certain. He had this huge aquarium display that used to be a draw, and he's removing that, and they're returning to their roots, which is making boots, and they're going to put in boot making displays. So instead of going and checking out the aquarium and having that be a draw, you can go in and actually watch people make boots, and they're expanding their boot lines, and they're basically redoing their whole product line because of Cabela's. And there's some good quotes from the kind of homegrown retailer in Coeur d'Alene who says that the population hasn't grown as fast as the sporting goods market, and something's got to give. But it's not unlike, I think we have had stories looking at the sporting goods industry in this area before, with Cabela's coming. So there's some interesting stuff in there, but it's not terribly,
Maybe that story should go to A and the other one should go to business. That one's got more general interest to me.
Well, I think people are going to be interested in what this looks like inside. And the photos, they wouldn't pop as much in business because it's black and white.
So what will we do on the day that they actually open?
Nothing.
That was my thought anyway. I mean, that's what I would advocate for. I think
When
they
do
would
they
give
actually open?
November 9.
Pardon?
November 9.
So this media day is a couple of weeks before they're actually open to the public.
Right.
Yes.
Do we just devil's advocating here? Do we violate our general admonition against manufactured news by building our story around a media day as opposed to the day that it opens to real, honest-to-God people? This is a TV opportunity as much as anything.
Frequently, though, I think, something we do advances of things, and we haven't been able to do an advance of this particular thing because we haven't been able to see what the actual inside of the store looked like. Yeah, we went down to Utah and we checked out the store down there, but I would argue that story was about a lot more than, hey, how cool a Cabela's store is. I mean, it had the interchange, it had the, the tussle between Washington and Idaho. It had a lot of the people who oppose Cabela's and opposing for the tax incentives and all of that. So, I mean, I think that package was solid and thorough and well done. We are kind of in the wow phase now, but we haven't been able to get into, this is the first opportunity for everybody to see what the inside of this store looks like. And we had a story just a little while ago saying they spent $1 million buying a lot of stuff, including local stuff, to furnish this tourist destination. So, I don't know.
There's also, our online component too. We do an audio slideshow. Dan's gathering the audio, just shooting pictures. Joe's going to produce it. But we'd be able to, you'll see a lot more than just one picture that you might run in the paper. You get to see all the details and the little things that are displays.
I think you raise a really valid question, and depending on how you want to answer that, play won't mitigate that problem.
No, it doesn't mitigate that
putting
problem.
it in the inside B isn't going to solve anything if we really have an issue. So, that's
The
what
bottom
we need to
line is
probably
what
talk
best
about.
serves readers. What best serves readers. Writing about a press tour 2 weeks before the opening, or saving our images, saving our video, saving our audio, and saving our wow for the day that people can actually go in.
I would think readers would want to know what it looks like. They're not going to care about seeing other people shopping there on the day it opens. They want to know what it looks like inside.
But we could,
and the other thing is, we've gone over to the Fox for those kinds of dog and pony things.
Fox is a little different.
Well,
it's not a.
I would argue
business,
there's more
it's
people interested in this Cabela's
Well,
than there are in Fox.
we've also covered, new rides at Silverwood. They're not, that's arguable as journalism too. We've done that.
Yeah.
So this is not.
Why is Dan handsome?
Because he was the
Wanted
person
to.
who was interested in
Well,
it.
I asked that question. Well, I know why he is, but I think that's going to be obvious to readers too, who don't see his byline. I think that's going to, and he's obviously going to be very excited about it. I think it's going to be, it's going to make it look like we're dazzled by it. We're like going, wow, this is cool. And the fact that Dan's doing it and not just a guy out there who's covering a business opening that doesn't care one way or the other how cool this is going in.
The other element of that is Dan knows everything that he looks at, he's going to be able to identify. And so instead of having somebody say, oh, there's a cool stuffed deer, you're going to have, oh, it was a 6-point whitetail kind of thing. You know, I mean, that sort of adds a richness and a layer to
like
description.
Sending a military rider to an air show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you know, it's not like, oh, cool, there's a plane.
Except for he's not a writer at all.
Well,
Well, he was.
Dan is a very good writer and an
I'm
excellent
saying
reporter.
that,
Come on.
I'm saying that I'm not criticizing his abilities. That wasn't what that was about. That was about readers recognize that he's not writing. He's an editor.
Well,
I think you give readers too much credit.
on bylines, I think maybe so. But let me ask this question, which is devil's advocate from the other side: is what's wrong with a wow factor? What's wrong with the newspaper reflects the wow that the community feels, which is kind of the attitude I bring to the box.
Right, right. There isn't. I mean, that's why you occasionally put American Idol on A1. You
Yeah.
put,
I knew she was going to slip American Idol.
Our
in
readers
before
want to be
we
interested in
sports
this.
on A1. You know,
Yeah.
what is of sports except for a wow factor? I mean, because you want to, you want to inform, but you also want to entertain when you can.
Yeah.
You want to be interesting. You want to be refreshing.
Yeah.
This is different, so.
Besides, this thing looms up over I-90 on the state line, people going back and forth all day long.
It caught my breath the other day when I saw it.
It's massive.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's obvious what it is, and it's going to pull people right off that highway into there. I mean, every day.
Larry, take another run at it. You feel strongly about this.
Well, I don't feel as, I mean, obviously when I sit inside of B when everybody else is looking at 1A, I'm going a little.
You're overcompensating.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was the whole point. Let's get real.
Well
here.
done.
But, and it served its purpose, obviously. But I feel strongly in that this is a media event.
Well, it is a media
and
event.
that
There's no
really
question about
bothers
it.
me.
Yeah.
And the other thing that bothers me is that this sort of thing, does it set a precedent? We just opened 2 Kohl's stores. We didn't pay any attention to that.
No, that was on the
Yeah.
front
We had a
page.
front page
Well-
story on the opening day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we? I was out of
Yeah.
town on the
Yeah.
open
Yep.
day.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yep.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Melanie did it, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we didn't go up there. I know we didn't
Becky,
shoot photos.
Becky.
And we didn't do. We, in my opinion, we've kind of done enough. And I mean, I don't have a problem with us doing this story today. I never did have a problem with that. Liz is out there, and it should go in the paper, but I don't think it belongs on A1. I just, there's news going on. And
Well, that's what's the competition for A1? I mean, in the end, there's.
It would be
there's
this
always
MRSA
the-
deal.
yeah,
Pardon?
MRSA, Superbug.
MRSA, there's not really visuals with that, is there?
yeah, there will be.
There will be?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, we got follow-up on the San Diego fires. Maybe we don't have to decide A1 right now.
No, we don't.
We don't.
obviously.
Let Dan and Liz show us what they've got and compare it with the day's agenda.
I think the threshold may be different between editions too. I mean, it is
Maybe.
fall, so I could make an argument that it belongs on page 1 for Idaho.
Yeah, you could. Again, I think part of it is getting past just the wow factor and dealing with some of the other issues. There's still controversy in Idaho over the tax incentives. And having somebody say it's worth it or not worth it, I think elevates it for Idaho.